For folks on the call, we're going to get going in about a minute, 90 seconds or so. Thanks for joining us. Hang tight, we'll be ready to go in a minute. All right, looks like it's the bottom of the hour. It looks like we've got a bunch of folks joining the webinar today, so let's get it kicked off. This is Acumen Corporation's webinar, Take SAP Business One Beyond the Basics, Customizing UI and Business Logic. Welcome. My name is Chip Lowell, and I'm VP of Business Development and Client Care for Acumen. Welcome to our webinar today. Before we begin, I'd like to reiterate my favorite quote of our founder, CEO, and President, Phil Perkins. The delivery system is of equal or greater importance than the product being delivered. As current users of SAP Business One, you certainly understand the benefit of having a delivery system like SAP. It's very important to keeping your company healthy and products moving smoothly. I think we all agree with Phil's statement. Let's go over a little bit about what we're going to cover today with our agenda and some takeaways that you'll have. In 45 minutes, you'll see new ways to enhance SAP Business One to work more like you want with Boyum IT's B1 usability package. You'll be able to create new navigation, redesign screens as wanted, ensure data quality, make advanced validation against data, automate tasks, and use dashboards and key performance indicators. Your host for today's webinar is Rosa Coronado. She's the channel enabler with Boyum IT. Rosie implemented SAP B1 for over 10 years and has been with Boyum for more than a year. Having been a user in the past of SAP Business One, Rosie knows that Boyum provides exactly the features SAP is lacking in areas. That's why she loves to show the product. I'm going to introduce Rosie now and have her give you your demonstration. Rosie, welcome to the webinar.
Hello, thank you, Chip. Hello, everybody. Can everybody hear me?
I don't think they're all muted right now, so they should be fine.
But you can hear me. Okay. Thank you for the time today. I'm very excited. I can show you our product. As Chip mentioned, my name is Rosa Coronado. I used to implement SAP Business One, and truly, I wish every user I worked with would have had the B1 usability package. And you will learn today why. I will cover some slides and then I will go into the system and show you how easy it is to customize your SAP Business One to make it work the way you want it. This, for example, is the SAP Business One you know today. With the B1 usability package, you can change your screens, you can hide fields, you can customize it the way you want it, what works for you. And you will see that in a minute. So we are all about customizing and adding business logic, meaning we want you to be able to customize your SAP Business One without getting a developer involved. And we want the system to work for you the way you want it. We do listen to our customers, we listen to our partners, and whenever we get an idea from the users and it's doable to implement it with the usability package, we will do that. So we are in more than 80 countries. I didn't change that. I just got the statistics this morning. We have more than 5,000 users. Today, we're gonna see, those are our products. We're gonna see the B1 usability package. That's the main add-on. The yellow circles, what you see around it, those are modules within the usability package. You can turn on or off depending what you need. You buy what you need. On the left, you see CRM for Outlook. That's an integration to Outlook we also have, which has become very popular. And we also have B1 iPayment, which is a credit card add-on, which is also very much liked here in the United States. So what can you do with the B1 usability package? As Chip mentioned, ensure data quality, automate your tasks so you don't have to click so much, create new navigation. And the newest part are the dashboards. We added dashboard in 2007 and users really much like them. So what happens usually when you need customization? You need a developer, you scope out the project, you code it, then you do the testing. I used to work a lot with developer. This is what I used to do. And it takes a lot of time and money. And with the B1 usability package, you can do things in a very quick way. If I go, what can you do in 5 minutes? I'm going to show you an example. If I go into sales order, for example, and I'm going to try to put in a sales order. Let me move this over, you see better. I'm going to do, oops. Here there's one validation in the background already. This reference number already exists for this customer. So I'm going to put, oops, I can't type this afternoon. So then I'm going to put like discount and I'm going to click add. I have a validation running in the background. It tells me that there's lines in this sales order that have more than 10% discount. In my case, I say, do you want to continue? Yes or no? I can let them continue, but you also are able to block it. You can block it. They cannot continue unless they change that discount to lower than 10 or lower. Okay, so this is a validation you can set up in a few minutes in SAP Business One. So what else can you do in SAP Business One? You can move fields, hide fields, move UDFs over there, put golden arrows. I will show you in the system. And all this by right-clicking. Okay, what you see right here, before I actually move to that, you see the dashboards open. Those are the dashboards that come with the usability package. You see you have your top 10 customers, you have customer group sales, you have item group sales, sales employee sales, and you have a purchasing dashboards, finance, service, production. They come already like this with the usability package. But of course, you can create your own dashboards. You can make your own tab and create your own dashboard. I made a very simple one for you. And you can do a SQL query and you create your own data, whatever works for you. It's very easy to use. We have a lot of training videos on that, and people really do appreciate those dashboards a lot. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to minimize them right here. On the right corner, we have a little button so you can hide them, so the screen when you work in SAP is not so busy. So I'm going to go into Business Partner. You also, before I go in there, you see that the main menu, you can change the names. I have CRM here, and I created an additional menu. I put a report in there, a SQL report or a website, whatever you need. This is very good for executives if they go into SAP and only do certain things, create their own menu, and you just put that right here at their fingertips. To change the menu is very simple. Also, you go to view, make sure system information is on. You're all probably familiar with that. Then you go up here and you look at the left bottom corner. You see the menu UID is 43535, and just by right clicking you go to add and edit menu. You see this is the additional menu I showed you. You just put in that code. It was 43535 and tab off, and then you can call it what you would like. And click update and your menu will be changed. There we go, there's customer vendors. So I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna go to my business partner master data, and you see my screen already looks different. I'm gonna pull up a customer. You see also my balance is red. I have a validation running. It looks at my, where is it? Payment terms, I was right here, at my credit limit. So this customer is over the credit limit. That's why it's red. So if I go to another customer, this customer is within the credit limit. So it's green. It's very good when you log on, you have it right here. So to move fields, I'm aware SAP can do that too, but I do here all the time. I said, this is so much easier. You just say right click, say move this field below or above a field. I say below, okay. And I click on business partner type. You need to click on a title and click update. This is my developer. It knows where to put it, but just clicking on the title, and here it is. To hide a field, again, right click, usability package, hide this item right here. And this is my developer. And I'm hiding this item. It's gone. You see telephone number 2 is grayed out because it is a read-only item. If you have for certain users, you only want them to read certain fields, you right-click and you just say, make this item read-only. And here are all my business partner fields, and you go ahead and make the fax number read-only. And if you have a hard time finding it here, and that's so nice with the Beamon usability package, you just right-click, copy system information. I know it's the UID 47, so you can go back here and look for 47, and here is the fax number. And you just click it in OK mode. Sometimes it doesn't make sense in add mode or find mode. And you tell the system which users should be included or excluded. So you have the flexibility to tell it. And right here, you see fax number is grayed out. Okay, you can set mandatory fields. You see my federal tax ID is orange because I have it set as mandatory. So if I go right here, the telephone number, right click, everything with right clicking, set this field mandatory. I get my mandatory screen. You can change the color if you rather have it red. The background color, you just change it to what color you would like. And here it puts in here telephone number 1. And you can also set it as warning only, meaning if it's not filled in and you add a new business partner, it will warn you, but it lets you keep going. If you don't have this check, it would not let you move or add a business partner unless you have it in there. And you see now it's orange also. Now let's move a user-defined field in the main screen. Right click, add this UDF to main window. I want to put it below. Okay. Click on the label. Let's put it right here. And I'm going to click update. And that's how easy it is. So here this field has to do with items. So you're thinking, gosh, it would be really cool. This is a UDF. I would like to put a golden arrow there. You can do that. You go back where you move this item to your developer. And here you can say, I want a golden arrow. I want it to look back to the item because it's an item code. And I'm going to click update. And if I have to get out and go back in to refresh the screen, in this case, and if you look now, I have a golden arrow and it takes me back to the item master screen. If you have, for example, I have hide from list here, and if I put this one over to the main screen, just to show you the flexibility it has. So you put it over to the main screen, and then you're like, well, I really don't want a drop-down screen, a drop-down field. I want a different kind of field. So in this example I'm going to show you, you can make it a checkbox. You go here, you don't want a combo box, you want a checkbox. I'm going to click update. And it moved over here. I have to get out and go back in to refresh it. And you will see it's a checkbox now, right there. Looks actually good there. So these are the things you can do just by right-clicking and moving. It's very simple, very flexible. You can create new tabs. You can create new tabs by right-clicking. So I'm going to right-click. I do get, when I used to implement, I just want on the business partner one tab where all my fields are I'm dealing with. So create your own tab and move the fields over there. Create new tab. Do you want a custom tab or a SQL tab? You can have a SQL report tab. I show you, I have one already. Let's do a custom tab. And I'm going to put in a couple user-defined fields. They all show up here, and I'm going to click OK. I need to get out and go back into the, and here is my custom tab with the 2 fields. And now you could put over any fields from here, whatever works for you. You see right here, this is also a custom tab, and this one is a SQL tab. You can write a SQL query, and then you can pull it in here. Those are all the credit memos and invoices for this customer. So you can have it on a tab. And the next thing we're going to see is buttons right here, but I want to show it this one right now, because this is the same report. If you prefer to have it here as a button to click on, you see this is the same report in a button, and we're going to cover the buttons more. So you have the flexibility, whatever works for you. Okay, so easy shortcuts. This is what we just saw. We want to have easy shortcuts so we stay in a screen and we can do several things, so we don't have to click around so much. We are really want to make sure that you save time and be more productive, or your employees. Okay, so you see right here, I have those buttons right here. Opportunity, you just click on there, and here it is. I have the top 10 items from this customer. It's right here. You can do SQL reports in here. Order, this is called a multi-button. So I have one button, and I can do an invoice, an aging, or an order. So whatever works for you. And I'll show you how easy it is to set that up. Website. This one opens a website. It looks at the customer name and Googles it for me in this case. And then there's the sales report. To create a button, very simple. You right-click. In my case, I go to Edit Function Buttons. And here are the buttons. And you see again, which users should see those buttons. So you can make buttons, a screen for the accounting department, and then you have another screen that make buttons for the sales department. So let's just say we're going to put in credit memo, and then I go right here. Those are all your predefined. So all you have to do is link it to the document you want. And there we credit note. And if I click update, and I go out and go back in, and here is my credit note. That's how simple it is to create a button like that. I'm going to go in there really quick one more time just to show you. You see right here the top 10 items or the sales report. They're called in the B1 usability package universal function. And all it really is a SQL report, SQL query. And you write it in here, and you can attach it as a button and have all those shortcuts. With the multi-button, you just choose multi-button right here under function, and then you go to the multi-button column and you click back there, and you tell it what you want to have under this button. That's how simple it is to create those buttons. If you prefer right-clicking, a lot of people do, they like the right-clicks, it's the same scenario. Instead of buttons, you do right-click menus. You right-click, you see I have one here already, my menu, invoice order. You can put underneath whatever you would like. Or you do a single button, it's like a single button, aging, and it opens it up from here. And of course, you can do that, you can add SQL reports too. Very simple to do, right-clicking, edit right-click menu, it comes up for you. You click the plus sign. So let's do also credit, note, and then here the predefined ones, exactly like you saw with the buttons. Credit note, I'm gonna leave it standalone, update, and it should be there. In this case, I think credit note, here it is. And of course, if you're a customer, it goes to the credit memo, and if it goes to vendor, it goes to the AP credit memo. So that's how simple it is to do right-click menus, or you do buttons. So you have everything at your fingertips. Okay. So another thing I would like to show you is automation. Automation is macros. You tell SAP what to do. Like I said, we sometimes have a lot of clicks. So with the macro, you tell the system to do that for you. Okay. So if I go, I have a couple examples set up. If I go, I'm gonna X out of business partner master data. If I go in here and I go, let's go to service. If you do service, as a service module, and you know when there's a service module and you get a service call and you have to do it, create a document of this service call, you go to expenses, you go to expense detail, new document, delivery or error return or error invoice, and you just click and click and click. So you're with the button, what you just saw, with the, you just click on return to be with B1 up, and here it is. If you have a macro, if you want to do it with the macro, you can think a little bit further. You want to do the return, but you also want this item to be copied over to the return or error invoice. So if I click on error invoice, look, it's going to do it for me. All those clicks you saw me doing earlier, it's doing it for me, and it inputs in the reference number the service call number. So the macro is doing it for me. I tell it to activate this, click on here, click on there, focus on this, and it does it for me. Another very good example on that is if anybody of you are familiar with batch numbers, serial numbers, we know in SAP Business One, when you do batch or batch numbers, let me grab some batch items. So when you have batch numbers, and you click add, what happens, it's going to ask you to select the batches for those batch items. So what we did, we put a button here. We have a logic. You got to have a logic that, okay, which batch you want to choose. So in my case, I use the oldest date. So I click batch, and there's the macro running. It does it for me. It runs through it, and it does it for me, done. And then you click add. You actually could even say click add then to the document once it's done. You can do that too. So those are the things that saves you time and money. Default data you can do if you have business partner. Every time you put in a business partner, if I go to add mode, you see that the group automatically gets defaulted to construction because it's the first one in alphabetical order. That's how SAP Business One handles it. So you can do default data every time somebody puts in a business partner, and you know usually the payment terms is the same, the credit limit, the beginning credit limit is the same, and so on. So you can make the default so the user doesn't have to fill it in. So if I click yes here, look at the group, customer group. It's going to change to production because this is what I usually, if I go to payment terms, $20,000 credit limit, and the payment terms is 2% net. It's not cash basis. I think that's the one you usually defaults. So you can do default data on the business partners and on the and also on the inventory master data. If you click add here, you see right here, the inventory item was unchecked for me because let's see, you have a lot of non-inventory item, and we know what happens if you check inventory item and do a transaction. So I have it unchecked as default. That way the user can check it manually if needed. Okay. So we also have a EDI solution with XML file. I don't have anything in this simple. With XML, you can write it, you can export and import data. You see it right here on the print screen. This is one example. Okay. If you need more information, please let me know. And then we go to alerts and validation. That's one of my favorites to show to you. I'm going to go back in. So you have business rules. For example, you have business rules. Again, when you have an order, a sales order, and the sales employees, there's certain data they do not put in, you can do mandatory fields. You can validate the data to make sure they put in the correct data. Okay, so if I go over here, you see right here, if I clicked off the business partner, it says also no available credit. That comes from my business partner screen because they're over the credit limit. If I would have one that's in green, that's within the credit limit, of course, it wouldn't come up. So I'm going to put my data in here. I'm going to put my 3 items in here. So you saw the discount already. I don't have to show that. That was a validation running. You see all those buttons here on the right. I love them. There's customer information. This is statistics about the customer. It's the phone number, how many employees they have, how many invoices they have, how many are still open, and so on. So you can have for the sales employer a button with the customer information. The website, this is also a good one. It goes out to the website for the sales employee to look up the customer. Shipping. If I click on shipping, for example, if you look, I click on shipping, it adds for me the shipping line. In my case, 62.50. So if I delete that, and let me change the quantities. I have it best validated by the quantities, and I click shipping. You see it adds it again, but it gives me 50% discount because I have the validation running back there. And then I have a third level. I'm going to delete it, not to confuse you. I'm going to do 20 if it's 20 or more. And I do shipping. Now it adds the shipping again, but with the 100% discount because you want to show that, you know, shipping, they got a discount on. So those are validation running in the background. It goes through the lines and calculates my quantity in my case. Of course, you can also calculate it by total. Okay. Here I have a transfer request. I'm going to click transfer request. So it's going to go out there and does the transfer for me. Look at this. This is a macro. It does the transfer for me. It's telling me there is an item on this order that's not an inventory item and will be skipped. Yes, of course. I want you to skip it. And there it is. And this way I did it all the way. And if I go to inventory transaction and I go to inventory transfer request, here it is. There's 21 and 1. It transferred it for me automatically. This was done with a macro. Okay. Select top items. Also, another report is written for the. So it selects the top item. So instead of pulling up the item master, the users can go in here and say, okay, that is this much, and click select, and it feeds it into your sales order for you. Okay, deal of the month. If you have something, you have a deal of the month, they click on it, it highlights it, and it will copy it over to your sales order. So the users don't have to do it manually. Or if you have items, for example, this is an example, they always order printer, 99% the customer orders printer, napkins, whatever you sell, and you just do printer, and this, in my case, it's a paper. And you can add it right there. So again, you can be very flexible, make it very simple, save time, make it easier for the users to look it up. If I go right here to search line, if you have a long order and you want to make sure that you added a certain item, you go right here and it will jump to that item. That's also very much liked by customers. And as you can see, you also can have your tabs here. Okay, so since you're all SAP users, I know when you go into AP invoice or any document and you add it to SAP Business One, and I'm sure that's going to be one of your favorites, it goes away. Then you have to call it up again. So you have to go up here and call the document up. With B1 up, just with the check mark, you can tell it, I want it to stay on the screen. So I click Add, and it stays on the screen. Okay, and this is something we call the toolbox. On the toolbox, we have so many features. So that's why we call it toolbox. You basically have a lot what you need, and this is one of them. All you have to check it and say, I really want my documents to stay on the screen. I don't want them to go away. And it, as you saw already on my business partners, you also saw that I have the flag right here. Okay, that's also you turn it on or off. And if I go to business partner master data, I go, usually your mouse defaults to the code. You see my mouse defaults to the name, because that's what I tell my toolbox to do. And the same is with the item master data. If I go to add-on, I'm going to show you really quick. Here's the toolbox configuration. This is where you turn features on and off, and you just so use flags. I have the flags. You see business partner starting name field. It can do so many things. Same with the item, the documents. I told it I want it to stay on the screen. That's this part right here, the line search you saw. So you're the one who tell it, okay, yeah, I want this and this to be turned on. Okay, there's also a very nice one in banking. As you know, when you go to banking, outgoing payment, and you go to payment means, it always defaults to check. So you can say, no, I want it to default to transfer a credit card, and so on. So you do tell the system what to do. Okay. Another thing that's very popular, as we all know, we have data transfer workbench. SAP has data transfer workbench. I used to work with it a lot. This is when you have to do an update on your business partners or on your item. You have to create that file and then run the data workbench. Sometimes it's very cumbersome, can be very cumbersome. So with here you have, actually, I was right in there and I got out. Usability package, module configuration. We have something called Master Data Manager. I call it Mass Update. What you can do you can go to the Business Partner Master Data or Item Master Data. You have all those options and you can do a Mass Update. For example, you find your business partner, you can put a SQL condition in here. Okay, and let's say I'm going to use them. Those are all my customers, and I want to change the customer group to high tech for those. You click execute, and it does it for you. Done. So they all were moved to that. One of my favorite example is, for example, when a sales employee leaves. If you have a lot of sales employees, and you had somebody that has been there for a long time, and I don't know which one would this be, and you want to switch him. Let's find data. So Jim just left, and the new sales employee is Sophie. So I want to move all his customers to Sophie. You just click execute and done. So you don't have to do it manually one by one or run the data DDW. And then you can pull the sales opportunities from Jim and the sales documents, and you can do it straight from here. So you don't have to do it. You can do it as a mass update. So that's also very popular and has become very much liked by our customers. Okay. So that's the administrative tool. I usually tell, go in there, see what you can update. Of course, if there's fields you cannot update in SAP, of course, this one can't do it either, but just go in there and see what's there. The other day, somebody asked me about an item group. I used the master data update, and they had to do something here to update. You can do even user-defined fields, as you see. You can change this user-defined field, and you can put the value in there. This is a text field, okay? So that's the usability package in a very overview, but I think you get an idea what it can do. You can customize it per user. You can put validations. You can put colors in there. You make sure your data is correct. You make sure your data is not missing. It's very simple to use, and as you have seen, mostly just by a right click you can do that. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the next slide. We are not covering this today, but I'm going to mention it really quick. Print and delivery is one of our top sellers with the usability package. It's a crystal report integration. I'm just going to throw it out, and then a comment can schedule another webinar if needed. And you can schedule emails. You can send emails out automatically. You can do mass emailing, and so on. It comes already with predefined crystal reports if you want to use them. Like I said, it's very popular. Also, it's great. You can use Outlook, Exchange, or SMTP. You can save them as a draft if you use Outlook or Exchange, or you can send them directly. Example, a salesperson puts in a sales order. Once they click the add button, they would just send their email automatically behind the scenes. Okay. So that's, I ran a little bit fast today. Sorry about that. Well, almost 40 minutes, so that's good. I think, Chip, we can open up for questions. I think that's what I have for today, if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, let me see if I can unmute. If there's a ton of background noise from all the different folks, there's a way you can raise your hand, and we can unmute you specifically for your question. But let's try everybody at once, and if you have any questions, let's see what we can do to answer them. Let's see, unmute. Well, is that working? And, try it one more time. Unmute, unmute, unmute. I guess we go right down the list.
You're going to go out and do that.
Ah, here, folks. Very good. Anybody have any questions? Feel free to speak up.
Is there, see, when you were sending the first prototype for it, the pin was a little more difficult to insert.
Yeah. Who's this that's asking the question? I'll make sure you're just the one to talk.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go ahead. Is this me? Hi, go ahead and ask your question again. We heard you pretty good then.
Oh, I got you.
Well, I guess we don't have any questions, and that's okay. So what we'll do is we'll remute and do the outro.
Yep, that's fine.
So again, I want to thank you very much, Rosie, for your time today. I think you showed some amazing features of the V1 usability package. I know that I learned a whole bunch of things today, and I'm going to run right back to my desk and go play with them. In terms of the rest of the folks, as you know, you are all clients of Acumen, so we would love to talk to you if you saw something that you would like some more information on, or maybe a more personal demo for yourselves. So what we're going to do is we've had our Q&A, which was limited, but that's fine. You're welcome to get back to work today. So again, My name is Chip Lowell with Acumen, and we had Rosie Coronado with Boehm IT handling our webinar today. Want to give you a big thank you for attending. And also, by the way, this session has been recorded, and we will be sending follow-up emails with links to the recording so that you can view it or pass it along to other folks that may want to see it. And we hope you have a fantastic day this afternoon. Thanks for attending.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. I really enjoyed it. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Rosie. Bye-bye.